The trade war between the United States and China has been simmering for years. It has been a contentious issue, with both sides accusing each other of unfair practices and economic aggression. The stakes are high as these two economic giants are deeply intertwined in global trade. It's a complex issue with no easy answers. Trade negotiations have been ongoing, with rounds of talks that often end in stalemates. Economists and trade experts have been debating the best course of action, but consensus remains elusive. Recently, the heat got turned up. The rhetoric from both sides has become more heated, and the stakes have never been higher. The global markets are watching closely, as any significant move could have far-reaching consequences. President Trump imposed a new round of tariffs on Chinese goods. This move is part of his administration's broader strategy to address what they see as long-standing issues in the trade relationship with China. These tariffs are essentially taxes on imports. They are designed to make Chinese products more expensive, thereby encouraging American consumers and businesses to buy domestic products instead. They make Chinese products more expensive for American consumers. This price increase can be seen in everyday items, from electronics to clothing, affecting the average American's wallet. Trump argues that these tariffs are necessary to protect American jobs and businesses. He believes that by making Chinese goods more expensive, American companies will have a better chance to compete, leading to more jobs and a stronger economy. He claims that China has been engaging in unfair trade practices for years. These practices, according to Trump, have put American businesses at a disadvantage and have led to significant job losses in the manufacturing sector. These practices include intellectual property theft and forced technology transfer. American companies have long complained about being forced to share their technology with Chinese partners as a condition for doing business in China. The tariffs are meant to pressure China to change its ways. By hitting the Chinese economy, the hope is that China will be forced to make concessions and adopt fairer trade practices. However, many experts argue that tariffs are not the answer. They believe that tariffs are a blunt instrument that can cause more harm than good, leading to higher prices and economic inefficiencies. They say that tariffs hurt American consumers and businesses. Small businesses in particular may struggle to absorb the higher costs, leading to layoffs and closures. They also argue that tariffs are unlikely to change China's behavior. China has shown resilience and has found ways to mitigate the impact of tariffs, making it doubtful that this strategy will lead to meaningful change. In fact, they could even backfire. The risk is that the tariffs could lead to a trade war, with both sides imposing more and more tariffs, ultimately hurting the global economy. China wasted no time in responding to Trump's tariffs. They slapped retaliatory tariffs on a range of American goods. These tariffs target key American industries, such as agriculture and manufacturing. China's message is clear: they will not back down from a trade fight. These retaliatory tariffs are already having a significant impact on American businesses. Farmers are struggling to sell their crops as Chinese buyers look elsewhere. Manufacturers are facing higher costs for raw materials and components. The tariffs are creating uncertainty and disruption across the American economy. The situation is a delicate balancing act. Both sides are trying to inflict economic pain without causing too much damage at home. It's a high-stakes game of chicken, and the consequences could be severe for everyone involved. One American company feeling the heat is Tesla. The electric vehicle giant has been at the forefront of innovation, pushing the boundaries of what electric cars can achieve. However, even a company as forward-thinking as Tesla is not immune to the complexities of global trade and supply chain logistics. The electric car maker relies heavily on Chinese suppliers for parts and components. These parts are crucial for the assembly of Tesla's cutting-edge vehicles, from the Model S to the Model 3. The intricate web of suppliers and manufacturers in China plays a pivotal role in Tesla's production process. The tariffs have disrupted Tesla's supply chain and forced the company to raise prices. This has not only affected the cost of production, but also the final price tag for consumers. Higher prices could potentially slow down the adoption of electric vehicles, which is counterproductive to Tesla's mission of accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy. This is bad news for Tesla and its customers. Frustrated buyers are now facing longer wait times and higher costs, which could deter potential customers from making the switch to electric vehicles. The ripple effect of these disruptions is felt not just by Tesla, but by the entire electric vehicle market. Tesla had planned to import parts from China for its Cybertruck and semi-production in the United States. These ambitious projects are key to Tesla's future growth and its ability to dominate the electric vehicle market. The Cybertruck and Semi represent Tesla's vision for the future of transportation. However, the tariff increases have thrown a wrench in those plans. The additional costs and logistical challenges have made it difficult for Tesla to stick to its original timelines. This has led to delays in both trial production and mass production, putting a strain on Tesla's resources and planning. The company has been forced to suspend component shipments, delaying trial production and mass production. This suspension has left production lines idle and workers without tasks, highlighting the fragility of even the most advanced manufacturing setups when faced with global trade issues. This situation highlights the interconnectedness of the global economy. The supply chain disruptions faced by Tesla are a microcosm of a larger issue affecting industries worldwide. From electronics to automotive, the ripple effects of trade tensions are being felt across various sectors. Even a company like Tesla, which prides itself on American innovation, is vulnerable to disruptions in global trade. The reliance on international suppliers underscores the importance of global cooperation and the challenges that arise when trade relations are strained. The trade war is a stark reminder that we live in a globalized world, and what happens in one part of the world can have ripple effects everywhere. Companies, governments, and consumers alike must navigate these complexities to ensure stability and growth in an interconnected global economy. To understand the scale of the trade war, it's helpful to look at the numbers. These figures provide a clear picture of the economic relationship between the United States and China and how deeply interconnected their economies have become over the years. In 2024, the United States imported $439 billion worth of goods from China. This staggering amount includes a wide range of products from consumer electronics to clothing and machinery. That's a lot of stuff. These imports are essential for various industries and consumers in the US, highlighting the dependency on Chinese manufacturing. In contrast, the US only exported $143.5 billion worth of goods to China. This significant difference underscores the trade imbalance that has been a point of contention for years. This trade imbalance is at the heart of the dispute. The US has long argued that this gap is unfair and has sought ways to reduce it through tariffs and trade negotiations. The top imports from China include electrical machinery, nuclear reactors, and machinery, which are crucial for the US tech and industrial sectors, and toys and sports equipment. These items are staples in American households, showing the everyday impact of this trade relationship. The top exports to China include mineral fuels, oilseeds, and electrical machinery. These exports are vital for China's growing economy and its industrial needs. These figures show how intertwined the two economies are. The flow of goods and services between the two nations supports millions of jobs and contributes significantly to their GDPs. The trade war is disrupting these flows of goods and services. Tariffs and trade barriers have led to increased costs for businesses and consumers alike. It's creating uncertainty and volatility in the global economy. Investors are wary, and businesses are hesitant to make long-term plans due to the unpredictable nature of the trade policies. The longer the trade war drags on, the more damage it will inflict on both sides. Prolonged disputes could lead to lasting economic scars, affecting not just the US and China, but the global market as a whole. Section 5. State-specific impact, how tariff wars hit home. The impact of the trade war is not evenly distributed across the United States. Some states are feeling the pain more than others. For example, California, Illinois, and Texas are the top importing states from China. These states are home to many businesses that rely on Chinese imports. On the other hand, Texas, California, and Washington are the top exporting states to China. Businesses in these states are feeling the pinch from China's retaliatory tariffs. The trade war is a stark reminder that economic policy decisions made in Washington, D.C. can have real-world consequences for people all over the country. Section 6. American businesses in limbo, uncertainty, and economic strain. The trade war has created a climate of uncertainty for American businesses. Companies don't know how long the tariffs will remain in place or if they will escalate further. This uncertainty makes it difficult to plan for the future. Businesses are hesitant to make investments or hire new workers when the economic outlook is so uncertain. The tariffs are also putting a strain on American businesses. Many companies are struggling to absorb the higher costs of imported goods. Some businesses have been forced to raise prices, which could lead to lower sales. Others have had to lay off workers or even close their doors altogether. Section 7. Global repercussions. The ripple effect of the trade war. The trade war between the United States and China is having ripple effects around the world. Other countries are feeling the impact of the tariffs and the uncertainty they have created. The International Monetary Fund, or IMF, has warned that the trade war is a threat to global economic growth. The trade war is also straining relationships between the United States and its allies. Many US allies are caught in the crossfire between the two economic superpowers. They are being pressured to take sides, which could damage long-standing alliances. Section 8. The road ahead, negotiation or further escalation. The big question is what happens next. Will the United States and China be able to negotiate a trade deal that addresses their concerns? Or will the trade war continue to escalate, causing further damage to both economies and the global economy as a whole? There are no easy answers. Both sides have dug in their heels and neither seems willing to back down. The stakes are high and the outcome is uncertain. The world is watching and waiting to see what happens next in this high-stakes game of economic chicken. Section 9. A world on edge. The broader implications of US-China tensions. The trade war is just one symptom of the broader tensions between the United States and China. The two countries are vying for global influence and power. They have different political systems, economic models and values. These differences are creating friction and mistrust. The world is becoming increasingly multipolar. The United States is no longer the sole superpower. China is a rising power, and it is challenging the existing world order. This power shift is creating uncertainty and instability. The trade war is a microcosm of this larger geopolitical struggle. It is a sign of the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead as the world navigates this new era of great power competition. The outcome of this competition will shape the 21st century and beyond.